And that's when these growth channels really started to take off. You know, they started getting a ton of views. And they were telling everybody the same thing. Improve your thumbnails. Increase your watch time. You need a hook at the beginning of the video. You need to Welcome back to Lee's Professional Channel on YouTube. How's everybody doing today? So welcome to Josh's Cemetery Chats. Before we get started, I do want to point out that I've got merch now. So check this out. This isn't the only thing that I've got, but this is one of the things that's over in the merch shop. It's linked down in the description below. It's josh-bearhart.com. A lot of great, awesome stuff in there. They ship to the US, Europe. There's a few countries apparently that they don't ship to, but for the most part, it seems like they're pretty international, worldwide shipping. So go check that out if you're interested in anything. Obviously shirts, but there's mugs, there's pillows, there's all kinds of crazy stuff in there, and a couple of different designs. I'm also working on some other designs. So if you have any ideas, drop them in the comments below, or better yet, come over to the Discord and let me know. I've got an entire channel dedicated to just merch ideas in Discord. So if you come up with anything, you think something would be kind of cool, let me know in the comments, or head over to the Discord and let me know there. Second order of business, I wanted to say thank you to the patrons. I want to get that. I like to do that every video. List the patrons up here if you are interested. I've got a Patreon. It starts out at $3 a month. There's a $3, $7, $15, and $30 tier. And each tier on the way up gets different things. The $3 tier is early access to videos and your name in the videos. $7 tier gets you behind the scenes type of content like I'm about to have for this video here, as well as a couple other little things. And then $15 gets you a postcard every month, personalized postcard. I've been making postcards out of some of the photographs I've been taking from some of the videos where I do the photography stuff. So I'm making photographs there and getting those sent out to people every month. The $30 tier adds a whole bunch of other stuff, including photography prints, the Christmas mailing list, all kinds of cool stuff. So go check it out if that's something that you're interested in. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So as some of you are probably aware, a couple of weeks ago I became a full-time YouTuber. I got promoted from my job to customer. They laid off a whole bunch of people, including me, and I decided at that point, you know what, I'm going to make a run at this YouTube thing. Got a few months that I can work on it and see what happens. And so over the past couple of weeks, I've been working really hard to come up with new ideas, new types of content, different things. And I've been trying to get out and make as many videos as I possibly can. I've had videos coming out every other day. Basically, I've been working and trying to come up with stuff and make a whole bunch of videos in a rapid succession, which is completely separate from what I used to do when I had a full-time job and I was making videos whenever I could, and it might be one video a week, it might be 2 or 3, it might be none. Like, it was just kind of random. And so now I'm trying to get on a more set schedule. Now I'm finding that I've got plenty of things to talk about. I've got a ton of different topics, a ton of different videos that I want to shoot. But there's times like today where I've been sitting here all day and I've been trying to come up with, what do I want to talk about for this video? What do I want to cover? Even when I got here, I was like, I don't know exactly what I want to talk about. I've got a list of things, but I just didn't feel like talking about any of them. And then it kind of hit me, the most obvious thing to talk about is how to grow and how to build a successful YouTube channel. Not because I've done that yet, but because I've learned a lot in the past year that I think can apply to some people out there, because I've found there's a couple of different issues that I've discovered with YouTube when you're trying to build a channel. And so I wanted to kind of share those and talk a little bit about how to build a channel, what I'm going about doing over the next few months, and why chasing trends and going after, just trying to put out content just to put out content isn't the best idea in the world. Alright, so when I first started on YouTube about a year ago, I was going out and I was researching, I was watching, there's a lot of channels out there that kind of are YouTube tutorial channels, growth channels, everything from like how to set up a channel, all the way down to the nitty gritty of like, there's channels that will use thumbnails that will show how to grow on YouTube in 2021, and they'll show a 0 over here and a 200,000 over here and say that you can get that in a year. Honestly, there are tactics that you can use to kind of beef up the growth speed, and a lot of that has to do with chasing trends, going for keywords, going for things that are going to be popular or hitting. But more and more recently, in the past couple of years especially, that's been kind of falling out of style. And a lot of that is because back in 2020, when we had the pandemic and everything got shut down and people were starting to stay at home more, and they were starting to realize that my job let me go the minute that we had an economic downturn or a big pandemic. They let me go. Now what do? I'm going to try to become a YouTuber. And so people flooded into the market and started trying, they wanted to become YouTubers. And that's when these growth channels really started to take off. They started getting a ton of views. And they were telling everybody the same thing. Improve your thumbnails. Increase your watch time. You need a hook at the beginning of the video. You need to have constant cuts. You need to have all of these things that on the surface kind of made sense, especially when you look back at some of the videos that have popped off and have become, viral hits and successes over the years. And when you look at a channel, a lot of people will reference like Mr. Beast as a good example, as a channel that just kind of blew up one day and it got really, really big because he figured out the YouTube algorithm. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is no figuring out the YouTube algorithm, at least not in a way that you can actually abuse it or use it in a way that to your advantage. So the YouTube algorithm is essentially a way to match viewers up with content. Think of it in terms of like old TV, where you had a television network that was trying to find the right program to put in front of their target audience or their viewers. Now for YouTube, their target audience is everybody. Everybody with a computer or a phone or a tablet. They want everybody on the platform, and for the most part they've been pretty successful with that. There's, I think, 2 billion, 3 billion viewers on YouTube. That's a lot of people. Because their target audience is everybody, they can, at first especially, they could kind of just throw everything out there and see what stuck. The problem with that over time was that YouTube started to figure out there was a lot of people getting on there and making some really, really not advertiser friendly content, and they make their money off of advertisers. So they went back to the drawing board and they started kind of refurbishing the rules and trying to figure out better ways, tweaking their algorithm like they do every year, finding ways to get the right content in front of the right viewers. And especially recently, in the past couple of years, with the influx of new channels, and not just since 2020, realistically this has been probably since 2016, 2017, and a lot of that is because you've got a lot of younger people that have grown up watching YouTube, and they've seen these YouTube stars and they wanted to be like them, so they started flooding into the market as well. So now YouTube all of a sudden has a weird problem on its hands. You only have so many slots you can suggest videos to at any given time. So for instance, when I'm on my YouTube feed on desktop, I pull up youtube.com and I'll get 6 videos or 7 videos or 8 videos. That's all the slots that YouTube has to show me videos. As I scroll down, obviously I get more. There's a lot of repeating videos in there. There's a lot of, they're tuning it to my recommendations. They're tuning it based off of what I've watched. And so what it winds up being is success breeds success, and the channels that have been successful for a while are the ones that get recommended more often. Every once in a while you have a viral hit, and so that will be shown to some people depending on what's going on. All of that is to say the YouTube algorithm is not working for you. It's working for YouTube, and it's working for the viewers. So commonly the way that the YouTube algorithm is described is a system that basically takes and looks at the click-through rate on a video, the watch time, the average view duration on a video, and it continues promoting based on how well that video does. So essentially, when YouTube is trying to decide what videos to promote to what people, it's looking at you individually and your watch history as a viewer, and it's looking through its catalog of videos and it's deciding what's the most likely video to keep you on the platform. Now, if they have a video that maybe is from a smaller creator but has a really great retention rate, people just love to watch that, they're going to try to stick it in front of you and see if maybe you'll like that video and you'll stay on the platform watching that. If they don't have one of those and they have just a bunch of average stuff, then they'll take the video that is from a channel that's been proven successful and has a proven track record, which is why a lot of times you get suggested videos in your feed that are from much bigger channels, and you very rarely see videos from smaller channels. Now, maybe you found my video in search. If you were searching for things like how to grow on YouTube based on the title of this video, that might be something that you see, my video might pop up. And search has its own algorithm. So whenever, if you're trying to cater a video towards search, you're going to try to get a lot of keywords in there, and you're going to try to get as much information packed in the description and in the first 30 seconds of the audio, and all of that kind of stuff to try to get people's attention and keep them watching when they find your video through search. Now, over time, YouTube starts to sort those search results based off of how recently was the video uploaded, how many other videos were uploaded on the same topic since when they uploaded, kind of sorts them out there, as well as people that found videos through search. Did they find that video helpful? Did it actually answer their question? If they hit the like button, if they watched the video all the way through. So they use all these things to rank in search, and that's a completely different algorithm. So there's multiple algorithms that are all used to match the viewer up with the video. Now, as a content creator, what this means is basically when you're small, you are relying on YouTube to show your videos to a wider audience. Now, you can help that out by 1, having a lot of videos in your catalog, 2, having quality videos in your catalog, doing everything you can to improve every single video, each new upload, as well as improving your thumbnails, making things better and better as you go, and doing all of this stuff that will tell YouTube that you have a good quality video. Flip side of that is that sometimes they just don't show it to that many people. I've had videos for no explanation at all that will get 100 or 150 impressions in the first 24 hours. And then the very next video, for no reason at all, will have a couple thousand impressions. I actually had a video recently, and I don't know if it was tied to YouTube testing out, maybe new audience, trying to figure out who to push my videos to, or if it was tied to the shorts that I had been releasing and just having a wider base there. But YouTube took one of my videos at random. I didn't expect it. The click-through rate was no better. The average view duration was no better than any other video. And all of a sudden it got 5,000 impressions, which was a ton for me because I normally get 300 to 400 impressions within the first week or two. This one got 5,000 impressions within the first day. It was insane. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And that's kind of the thing of it. There's no surefire method to grow a YouTube channel. You're basically stuck. You're at the mercy of YouTube because there's so many content creators. There's so many videos out there for people to see, and the YouTube algorithm's not there for you to succeed. It's not built for a content creator to succeed. The exceptions being the larger content creators who have been around for a while, who get all the attention and bring in all the dollars, because let's be honest, YouTube as a company, they don't care about any one individual content creator. What they care about is how much money they're bringing in based off of those content creators. So when you have a content creator like Mr. Beast or like Mark Rober, or some of these huge channels that are driving a lot of the watch time, partially that watch time is being driven because YouTube is essentially going off of the principle of telling everybody this is good, and so you're going to watch it. It's the group mentality, the herd mentality. And it's some of the psychological stuff we've talked about before on the channel is if you see 2 videos in front of you, and one video has 10 million views on it, and the other video has 50 views on it, psychologically, and this is a general principle, I'm not talking about you individually necessarily, but psychologically in general, people are more likely to click on the one that has 10 million views over the one that has 50, because they want to see what's everybody watching here. Why does everybody like this video? Obviously, if it's got 10 million views, everybody likes it, right? No, not necessarily. Horrible, prank videos back in the day would get millions upon millions of views, and they were low quality crap content, was getting a ton of views, not because it was good quality, but because it was buzzworthy. It was stuff they could push it out, it would get trendy, it was burn really bright for a short amount of time and then just kind of fade away. The really good solid content that's out there, because there is some really great content on YouTube. That type of content and those type of channels are channels that grew slowly over time, that it took years to really cultivate an audience and get videos out there, and eventually YouTube decided to promote one of their videos and it got to the right audience. But those are the kind of channels that you want to watch videos from because they have the high quality content. Where I have a problem with it though, personally, is that back in the day when YouTube first started, it was the average Joe could sit down in front of their camera, record a video, upload it, and it could be seen by potentially thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. Today, it's become very corporatized. Companies, bigger YouTubers that are basically, they've made it into this thing where they kind of run the show. They hog the spotlight, and newer, smaller channels rarely get seen. When they do, a variety of factors contribute to whether or not they take off and actually stick around. There's a lot of channels out there that might get blown up after a couple of videos. They don't have the content, they don't have the actual personality to sustain the long-term growth, and so they fizzle out. You'll have other channels that will go 4, 5, 6, 800, 1,000 videos uploaded without a single sniff at a big video, but with a small dedicated core audience. So then the question, how do you grow a YouTube channel in 2022? How do you make a channel into something that may be profitable, or something that you can make into a business down the road. And the truth, the honest answer, make the very best content you can make. Try to improve with every single video. Everybody says find your niche. You don't have to worry about finding a niche. Have fun with it. Experiment. Play around. See what you like. See what kind of videos you enjoy making. Because I'll tell you right now, if you're just starting out and you're trying to figure out, like, what do I do on YouTube? I want to start a channel, but I don't know what to cover. What's popular? Don't worry about that. Don't let that get to you. Start a channel where you're enjoying it. Experiment with different things. Have some fun. Play around with it. Try different titles, different thumbnails, different types of videos. See what you like and see what the audience winds up coming to. Because if you do it that way, you're more likely to wind up in a situation where your interest in something that you were really passionate about winds up coming in contact with a large audience that enjoys that subject. And you're having a lot of fun making videos full time at that point. The alternative to that, you try to figure out what's trendy. You try to figure out what kind of topics you can cover. And you sit down and you cover those topics. And yeah, maybe at first it seems like it's a lot of fun, and then you gain an audience and everything seems great, but then you get bored with that. And you wind up stuck in a niche where if you try to make another type of video, you try to shift gears. Sometimes you can be in a situation where you do that shift and the audience that you've brought along, 90% say, I'm not interested in that, and they wind up leaving. That's not always going to happen, but typically there's a couple of different types of viewers on YouTube. There's people like me that I'm not signing up for necessarily a particular topic on every single channel. And I'm likely to sit through videos. If I sit down and start watching a video, especially by a new content or smaller content creator, I'm more likely to sit through it just because I'm going to see what it's all about. Now, a lot of people won't do that. A lot of people will click off in the first 10 or 15 seconds or the first 30 seconds because they're impatient. You're gonna, if you do the videos you love, you do what you enjoy, you're gonna put yourself in a situation where people are more likely to stick around. And if you do it right, you get them to stick around for you and build a community. When you build a community, when you can bring a lot of people together over common interests, hobbies, that kind of stuff, I think that's a lot more of what the internet needs, because that's where it all started. Think back to the days of message boards and things like that, where people would get really invested in a particular website or message board because they made friends on there. They formed communities. They played games together, hung out, got to know each other. And we can still have that. I think over the past 10 or maybe even 15 years, it's drifted into this whole plethora of just so much out there that people don't even bother most of the time investing in those communities, at least not for the long term. I've been in a couple of different communities in my time in the past several years. A lot of times what happens is those communities, they never really form, they fall apart because the content creator, the channel maker, whoever it happens to be, they aren't fostering a community. They're going for views, they're chasing trends, they're not doing what they enjoy doing, they're doing what they think the audience is there for, and that is a recipe for trouble. Well, that's a long video for one that I didn't actually know what I was going to talk about 25 minutes ago. This has been a topic that's been kind of on my mind. I've been bouncing around for a little while. I've talked in the past, I've done some videos talking a little bit about YouTube and the general idea of YouTube. I want to open up a little bit more about that. I want to talk a lot more about these kind of topics during these cemetery chats, because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of things out there that I think people are confused about. It's things that I've had some experience at this point. And so I want to do what I can to kind of put the best information that I can possibly put out there from this side of the camera. Because, I mean, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I'm sitting there watching videos on YouTube. I didn't know what all went into it. I didn't know anything at all about YouTube, and now here I am a year into this channel and this journey, and I've learned a lot, and I've seen a lot, and I want to share some of that stuff with you guys. So you may have noticed Fred got a hairdo. He's actually he said it would make him happier. He's been kind of grumpy lately. I don't know what exactly is going on with him. He's been a little odd to say the least, but I don't know, maybe the hair will help him out and make him feel a little bit better. I don't know what all he's getting into, guys, but it's some weird stuff, I think. I'm kind of worried. We'll see what the hair does to help him out. Like I said, go check out the merch. Got the merch shop. Go check out the Patreon. Subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. I want to thank you all for watching. I'll drop a video up here. This will be Fred's recommendation. Hopefully, I think it'll be a good one with this one. We'll see. But I want to thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.